Gotta go back to cinemas. Gotta go. Another highlight. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I went to see this. This was a preview screening. It was one of those things where it was a secret screening because obviously when you have an unlimited card at there's quite a few cinema changes and they have like some version of an unlimited card. And with this, sometimes they give you a secret screening. They say, "Come have this film. You don't know what film it is. Just come in." So I booked it, and they did tell you that it was a horror. They told you it was a horror. And before even I walked in, I was like, "I think this is Heart Eyes," because I'd seen things. I seen a poster about Heart Eyes. I said, "I think this is Heart Eyes," and sure enough, it kicked up and it's Heart Eyes. This was my second disappointment in the week. This was this was like the when you're sitting in the cinema, you're like, "Why am I here? I could be at home. I could be with my family."
I
What?
saw the I thought into the trailer. I saw the poster, and I was just like, no.
It's so bad that I got out of the cinema and I had to text everybody on I watched Netflix cinema group and be like, "Oh my God, this is terrible. I need to vent." And so that might be all you need to know about this film. But
It's like
let me soldier
no,
on and try to
thank
tell you.
you.
Let me try to tell you. So this film kicks off, and it kicks off here, and you're in a vineyard, and there's a woman there, and there's people who are dressed to be very sort of like Instagram influencer archetype. The woman is wearing a hat and all that, and you can see that then they're like, "Oh, this is wonderful, Valentine's Day together," and all that kind of stuff. He pours her some champagne, and he feeds her strawberries, and then as she eats the strawberries, she kind of goes, and she takes something out of her mouth, and she says, "I told you not to put it in my food." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." And it turns out that this is actually it's like an engagement proposal, but it's a very Instagram engagement proposal
Uh,
where he gets down, he kneels, he says, "Will you be my wife?" She goes, "Yes, yes, yes." And then he gets a phone call and he picks it up, and there's a camera hiding in the woods, or of a cameraman hiding in the woods saying, "Sorry, I didn't get it." And it's like, could you propose again? And so they go and do this thing, and then some person shows up in a mask that has hearts for eyes and kills them all. Hence the name Heart's Eyes.
oh, I
And
hate
is
it when that happens.
I know, and I feel like this was essentially I was watching this film going, hasn't this been made before? Isn't My Funny Valentine like no, My Bloody Valentine? My Bloody Valentine is like a horror movie about somebody who kills people on Valentine's Day and everything, and so unfolds a film in which you have this whole thing. You have somebody called the Heart Eyes Killer. The Heart Eyes Killer who goes around and he kills people on Valentine's Day. He kills couples on Valentine's Day. And has been going across the country. A couple of years ago it was Boston, then it was somewhere else, and now we are in, I cannot even remember, I can't be bothered. I think Seattle. And then you meet this woman who works for she works for a diamond company. She's recently been dumped by her boyfriend, and she goes to essentially what they're trying to do with this film is that they're trying to merge a rom-com and a slasher movie.
Oh,
That's the big premise of this film.
yeah.
So there's a meet cute that she has with this guy. There's a meet cute she has with this guy in a cafe, and they're all like, oh, and it's all like eyes and like, oh my God, oh yeah, he's so cute, and then she gets to work, she gets chewed out by her boss, and then it turns out that the guy she met in the cafe is the guy who's been brought in to fix a problem at work, so essentially to take her job. And he recommends that they meet up at a restaurant. They meet up at a restaurant to discuss their campaign and all that kind of stuff. Her friend is like, "Oh my God, he's so into you!" Blah 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 blah. So much rom-com stuff, and this film doesn't work. It just doesn't work because they try and hit all the points of a romantic comedy because it's written. One of the writers is Christopher Landon, who did Freaky, where they merged a slasher movie with a Freaky Friday premise. And he also did Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, where they merged a slasher movie with Groundhog Day.
Time loop.
Yeah, with a time loop movie. And so this isn't him directing, but he wrote it. And it's them trying to merge a rom-com, and it follows all the beats of a rom-com with a slasher movie. And this film is not nearly silly enough or out there enough or heightened enough to do it. So there's bits where you're like, is this supposed to be a slasher movie? Well, it's failing at that. It is so predictable. Like, there is no beat in this film that will surprise you. There is no. It's like, who's the killer? Oh, well, that was a surprise. Ooh, why is he getting in that car with that person? I wonder what's going to happen to him. It's like, oh, this police station got to go. We saw everybody but one person get attacked by the killer, and actually saw a dead body. I wonder who the person who isn't dead is, or the person who we didn't see die is, and it's just kind of. It's so predictable. It's so stupid. There are a couple of bits. There's a bit with an American flag where you can feel it beginning to touch what it was going for, but they don't last. They do not last. It just kind of like, and it's like all the air goes out of the souffle. It all just collapses, and we're back in some horrible mismatch of a movie where they keep doing stupid things. I mean, there's a bit of me that almost there's a slightly sadistic bit of me that wants Sean to watch this because I think Sean might blow up. I think Sean.
Picture him sat up, just twitching, fidgeting. Yeah, I'd like him to go, but I won't go. It might be if he goes to the secret. There's a secret screaming on the island, and if he goes to that, it probably will be. We've often found they're the same films, aren't they?
Yeah. I think if he'd gone to the secret screaming this week, it would have been Heart Eyes because it's being released. It's being released obviously on Valentine's Day because that's. I think that's the big marketing thing. Ooh, Valentine's Day, the Heart Eyes Killer. Ooh. And I'm like, I cannot be bothered. This sucks.
The way you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the rom-com is stupid. There's bits where it's like, for instance, there's a dash to the airport. There's a dash to the airport that is in such a place that is so stupid and like. And obviously, I can't tell you more because it would be a bit of a spoiler as to it. But it's like the place they put it in, you're kind of like, why are you even doing this? Even within the world of the movie, that makes no sense. Within the world of the movie, that is like dashing to the airport, going like, I'm like, you don't know where he's going, what flight he's getting on. You know nothing, and you just run into the airport.
You're gonna randomly run around an airport. Look.
Yeah, there's bits where people are trying to run away from a killer, and then they stop to have a conversation. It's just no, It's a 2. It's a 2. Stay away from Heart Eyes, please. Save yourself. It is, and the only thing.
Don't walk and don't trip up when you're running.
Yes, I'm just don't. I mean, when you go watch it, you understand because there's some times when you have like, when someone tells you what was so bad about it, and it's a spoiler to tell you what's so bad about it. But if you go see it, I would be really, really surprised if you did not agree with me. Yeah. It's 2 stars. But the only thing I would say is Olivia Holt, who plays the main character in this, Olivia Holt. I kept looking at her going, her face is a very weird, it's a very subtle mix of Merritt Weaver and Julia Stiles. And I cannot explain it. Yeah, honestly, when you see her on screen, because from some certain picture angles, she doesn't look like that. But when she's actually acting and moving and everything like that, I'm like, that's Merritt Weaver's chin. But that's Julia Stiles' forehead. What is going? And I had to go out and see whether she was related to either of them. Turns out she isn't. And but yeah, and I'll be interested to see if anybody else thinks that. Yeah. But that is the most interesting thing about this film. So let's leave that where it is and let's forget about cinema this week. It was a bad week.